I grew up running. I was a sprinter. Sprinting is very technical. You control every little piece of it. You know how the race is gonna run. You have your own lane. And I think the marathon was nothing like that. The wheels could fall off at any point, and you just have to deal with that. But I think that was a better metaphor for my career. I wanted to control all these things. I had ideas about what I was gonna write on and what I was gonna write about. But I felt like I had lost control. Just got done with a track workout. It's always kind of fun to go back to the track. I'm Sarah Price. I'm a television writer, and I'm also a runner. I grew up in Colorado. I didn't know anything about television writing, but I was this athlete, and I loved mountain biking and skiing. And I just didn't see that version of myself a lot in film or television. And then for an after-school program, I got to produce a television show, not knowing at all where life would take me. I moved to Los Angeles and I thought it was just this really intimidating thing. I worked 100 jobs and couldn't figure out how I was gonna break in. Eventually, I was a surf instructor, and one of the kids I was teaching, hooked it up, and she gave me an interview for a TV writer to be his assistant, and then I worked my way up from there. I had just gotten my first staff job on a television show, and it was amazing. Once I got to see the lights and the cameras and these sets, and you were a part of it, and you were seeing the actors make something out of this whole world you created in your mind, this was everything I could have dreamed of and more, and it was better than that. There was this whole other side of my job and my career that I wasn't talking about. The abuses of power were constant. From gaslighting, people getting fired, walls getting punched, secret affairs. I developed this intense anxiety. The people I admired most were the same people who said I couldn't handle the job. So I just felt super isolated and alone. I found myself stacking up like all my failures, and I had all these like negative thoughts telling me that I wasn't gonna make it in the industry because I wasn't good enough.
The WGA is going through last-minute negotiations with major studios.
No TV! We're fighting for the survival of television and film writing as a sustainable career, period.
The writer's strike got called May 1st. I was like, I don't know how to make it in this career. I don't know when I'm gonna work again. In that anxiety, I decided to grab my running shoes and went to the picket line and started running around the studio.
LA is a union town!
The cool thing about the picket line is that every single writer who's out there is going through the same thing that you are. So many of us had been a part of the system and for years had been devalued in various ways. It felt like, for the first time, I was like, oh, we're all in this together. This is why we have a union. I felt this beautiful sense of community again in a lot of ways. I had done that run around the studio, and I mapped out all the distances between all the different studios, and they're 26 miles apart exactly. What if I made this a marathon? I was like, I'm gonna do it. Built a website and started to have people have interest, met people on the picket line who are also runners. I was doing so much logistics and planning and picking the route and getting volunteers, and I forgot I had to run 26 miles. I have never run a marathon. 3 miles in to a 20-mile training run today. Everything's gone wrong this morning. Just powering through. I was sort of determined. Even if I do it alone, I'm just gonna do it for myself. And as I started to talk about it and tell more people about it, people were interested and they wanted to join. Okay, hi everyone. Let's circle up. Thank you guys so much for coming out. This is amazing. Everyone here who's doing the marathon, can you guys raise your hand? So let's look out for each other. We should be good to go. This is gonna be great. I was really nervous before the run. I didn't know what to expect. And then all these people showed up.
Oh, you look beautiful!
So we're gathered here, CBS Radford. It's just about 8 a.m. And today is the day that we're going to run a marathon.
Look, everybody!
It was sort of this great mix of all people from all different guilds who had come together and were just excited to sort of like take on this challenge. Running has been my way to connect with people again and find another community. The teammates I have found in other writers who are also runners made me feel a lot more like I do belong here. Thank you! I was fully prepared to run this thing alone, and I think the greatest reminder as we crossed the finish and everyone came in and it was this wonderful celebration was that although I could have done it alone, I don't have to.
Micah, we know for almost 5 months, many writers here in Hollywood have really struggled through this historic strike, but now we can tell you they are able to go back to work, and more importantly, they're going to start getting paid again.